Welcome to Bunny's Designs. I wanted to use my Derwent Graphitint because they have beautiful muted colours, and although I bought this book to do some very bright colours, I quite like the idea of this particular page in the Johanna's Christmas Festive Colouring Book. And I love the ivory pages, but I can't do with this extra space, so I thought that I would extend it a little bit. So I normally have a look about. I've got some children's tracing paper because it's normally just £1. From the, I think it's 120 for 30 sheets. It's a £1 or £2 from Wilko's in the UK. So go in the kids section for tracing paper. It's a lot cheaper, and it's actually quite good quality. It's almost like our old-fashioned greaseproof paper. But you could use, I suppose you could use deli paper, anything you can see through. So I'm going to have a look. I like the holly, and I do quite like. I like the holly, and I like the swirls. But I think I want the holly behind the back. So this seems to be a bit of a holly. I'm going to trace this first. And it's a good idea to use a couple of paper clips to just keep it in place. Sorry about the puddling around. The puppies are having a bit of a wander. So I've got quite a sharp pencil, and I'm just going to very carefully draw around this particular holly . I'm going to miss that out because I don't like those leaves. I like the other leaves better, so I'm actually going to change the leaves a bit. Whoops. So this particular holly branch is wrapping itself around the ornate and that's the branch that goes up there with a bit of a spike on it, and then it comes down here and we have a single berry. Now sometimes when you trace it, it's not actually what you like, so but it is nice to draw your own sometimes, but because this has already got its own style, which is obviously Johanna's style, it would look different if you start drawing your own. So I'll just continue doing this. And it actually goes down here. So what I'm going to do, I think, is put another holly berry here. We'll just do this first and see how it looks. And you can make something up, and once you've drawn it, you can reverse it, and then that's the. And I'm going to put some really spikes on, I think. So if we lift that up, we can see there's a gap there. So if I slide this out of here, this is what I'm left with. So it can either kind of go coming out of there, it could come out of there, but then I've got a bit of a gap here, so I thought I would put this one here. So I just need an eraser, and it's only tracing paper, so if you make a mess of it you can draw it again. So if I just take that from there, that'll allow me to draw this. Oops. And if you make a mistake at this point, it doesn't matter, because all you've got to do is remember not to draw around that mistake on the other side. So that's given me, and I might put another one there actually. And the same with the hollies. I don't like 2, I like 3. Even if it has 1 leaf. Berries don't normally grow on their own, and we have a huge holly tree in the garden. So if I put that to come up to there, that looks quite nice. That can go to there. So if I just draw that, I know where I'm going with that. Or I could get that into there, but then I've got a space up here. So I think I'm going to put that up there. I like that. And then I can bring this down here. And obviously I can reverse it on the other side to go up there. So my holly goes up there, so I need to change that, or change its direction. If that's going up there, I need to bring this holly down. So I need quite a sharp bend. So this is quite a sharp curve here. So if I put let's have a look. I need it to come kind of down here. So I can just have a think of this. I can lose that one. And I can put that one there. So if I draw that one in, I mean, it might not work, we're just making it up as we go along. It might be 2-staged, but that looks quite nice. But that curves down here now. So when I turn that, I still don't have enough curl on it really, unless I lose that leaf. If I lost that leaf, that would curl up and then that would bring it down. down. So sometimes you've got to have a bit of a play with it to get it right. Hi Sandy, welcome to Bunny's Designs. Having a play with the clock page in the Johanna's Christmas. I'm extending the holly to go around the outside because I don't like the empty spaces. So I've had a bit of a play and I've got that to go up here. But if I take that leaf off, I can bring this down. And if I just put a line here, it's going to show me what my paper is going to do. So drop that down. To there. Which has given me another leaf. So you've got to have a little bit of planning with this. So this is a live stream, but it is very early in the morning in the UK. I would have liked something up there, but I'm not particularly bothered about it. So I need to just take this one out because this one's going to be in the way. I've actually drawn that one on the wrong side, haven't I? It doesn't really matter, but I have drawn it on the wrong side. That's the one I want rid of. That first one. And then that fits quite nicely there. To come down there. And then it can come this way, I think. So again, we can take, I do want that kind of direction, I think. But just lightly, oops, just lightly drawn that in so I know roughly where I want the thing to go. So I can turn, actually look on this side. And so we can draw this one. Curve that around. I wanted it to be possibly try that. That one's in the way, so it has to go on the other side. That one has to go on the other side. So put it there. It shouldn't interfere with anything. Just move those two away. And place it back there. So this does take a little bit of planning. I could have one of them there, because that would look quite nice. So then that can... Right, so that means we can bring that down to this side. And have... put that one in. I mean, they could always go behind the clock if you wanted. Again, but the beauty of it is, once you've actually mastered it for one side, you've actually got it for the other side, because you just reverse it over. So I can do both sides of that. So if we bring that one down there, could do with just... just going out to there. So you just have to look and see how things are drawn, where they are. So we've got... I had it there, but I'm going to move it to there now, I think. And that will allow me that. And so it's going to come to there. I think I'm going to turn that way. And join that one here. And then end with this one here. And I think that's done it. I think we've got enough there. fill I can always take that other bit off if I want to. I quite like that there. So I like that bit there, and then I want that bit there. Yes, you can move it about a little bit, but we've got enough to do that, and then I might just have just a small one coming down there, possibly. That little one would be nice there. Yes, that would be nice down there. So I've got a rough idea of what I want. So, need a piece of white paper. And I'm actually going to sharpen the pencil. So we've drawn, I need to draw this bit on this side and then all of it on the other side. So this is a watercolour pencil, this is a Derwent sketching pencil medium wash 4B. And I just find it quite soft enough to iron that out when we draw around it with pen. And then we went up here. Around there, small holly berries, and then that swings around there. And while we're there, oh, I could have actually done that. You can actually do it the first time and then you're not wasting energy, but because I've actually drawn it now, that's the kind of faint lines we need on the other side. So I now need to draw it on this side, but in order to save time, as you are actually doing that, you may as well put it where it's going. So because it fitted one way, hopefully it might fit the other. And it doesn't. It doesn't. So it's not symmetrical. Never mind. So I think I put it to there, and then I need to turn it there and knock that leaf out. That's fine, I can do that. So originally I'd drawn the line at that side, so if we put it up to there, So now we can very carefully just draw around this. And this kind of rubs out quite well, this pencil, so that's another reason I used it. But you can use whichever one you find the easiest. It does need to rub out in the end because pencil will run. But I think the first time I did it, I forgot to actually undo some, so it was okay. And of course what you're doing here is, as you're drawing on this side, you are putting the carbon on the design for when you turn it and flip it on the other side. So instead of drawing on both sides first, you just do it on one side, and then you're automatically doing the other side. So instead of drawing it out quite a few times, you only have to draw it out twice. And again, sometimes it's quite nice that they kind of overlap because it makes it look a little bit more natural. Although these are stylized. Not sure if I want to put that behind that leaf, maybe. So when I got to here, I could have just taken that one off, actually. Hopefully these lines should rub off quite nicely. So when I got to here, I was going to change that slightly. And I just want to change the direction of that leaf. And then I can just carefully move that to where I wanted. Just see if I can just turn that slightly. It's only slightly out now, is that? So I'm going to put that there. And what this does, it'll kind of extend this. These are going to be very bright, these holly leaves. I have I think there's 3 greens in the Graffy tint. I just thought they'd look quite unusual. What did I So the only one I've got to just here is possibly put that there. So I need to put this here and this here, and then I just need to join that one up with that one. Don't know if you can see that. Hi MD, welcome to Bunny's Designs. So I've completely covered that, and the magic is you can just flip it over and you've got the same design for the other side. And because you've just drawn on the other side, you've got some fresh pencil to kind of colour in. And then so you could do this with biro, but if you do it with pencil, it means, and then you could keep this and you've got I don't know what I did with the other one, it's somewhere. So I've got kind of 3 carbon copies of holly berries. And all you're doing is tracing it, so you don't have to, once you've worked out where you want things, you don't have to worry too much, because you know it fits, because it fits on the other side. Now some of them aren't symmetrical, so you've got to think about it, but it's just a matter of moving the tracing paper slightly off so you can get a leaf just tucked in or something else. And so I'm going to bring that down here. So I hope everybody's well this morning. Thank you for joining me. It's a bit early. It's a little bit early for the UK. Is it just after 9? It's 25 past 9 in the UK. And I just thought I would carry on with my Johanna's Christmas book, because I really want to get as much done as possible. Oh no, I didn't turn it, did I? I forgot to turn it, but I'll turn it here. Chatting, I forgot to turn it around, so it just catches onto there, but that's fine. I can just that one came further down, didn't it? Just need to move my, I don't think I need that one now. I liked it there. Yes, I'm going to work backwards. Kind of like that here. So I can draw over it again because there's enough pencil. And it won't matter if it's a bit different, because it doesn't want to be perfectly symmetrical. Makes it a little bit more natural if it isn't. And then we take that one up there and round. I always mess that leaf up. That's the one leaf that I always mess up. So we put this here, and then it's the next bit that we want to kind of play about with. So we need that to go kind of there now, but we want something else there. So we'll swing that round there, and we've got that there. That can come up to there. Just get rid of that one because it's confusing. So we've got I think I'll just put a leaf there, I think. Or maybe another one there. I think I'll put another one there. It's going to be a bit different, but it'll be fine. So I've driven all the way around, drawn all the way around. The only one I want to do next is this down here. Kind of like this one. So I'm going to do this one here. I'll turn that over. And draw on the other side. Because I've just got some fresh pencil on there. So that's given me quite a nice, I don't know what's happened to my light again. I think my light's gone off again. Oh my goodness. You're either a very early bird or a very late bird. Very early or very late. The light is probably better there. Just have a little bit of a play with my lighting to see if I can get that slightly better. Probably lifted this up, maybe that would be better. And then just, so you can just about see I've got that all the way around, so it's not too bad. So now I'm going to take the pen. This is my isograph rotring pen. Oh, have you got the... Oh my goodness. We've woken up to some driving rain this morning in the UK. And it is quite cold. So I'm going to start in the top corner. It is fairly light, but you should be able to see it in a little while. So just... And you just have to go. And if you're not perfect, it doesn't matter. Just keep going, because it's when you stop you get is when it looks odd. So that's not really a natural curve around there, so we're going to have to do this. It's going to have to be... I'm going to have to turn it actually in order to get some nice you need some nice natural curves, so it's not always easy. So you need to turn the page. And we'll do this one next. Sometimes you can't always see, so do the ones you can see, and then that automatically... So there is a leaf there, so I'll do this one. And then I'll do this one. And there is a leaf there, but I don't think I like that leaf. Because we brought that down. And then I'm going to have a think about that leaf. I obviously changed it, didn't I? So that goes like this. Just have a look what I did. Yes, there is a leaf there. So that can go like that. And then that comes up there. We have a leaf. So I hope you can see that. Oh, where have I got this from? So it says, remind me never. It still comes up. So the secret of these pens is to keep them completely vertical, because basically it's a little wire through the centre of a tube, and you can feel the wire scratching. Very carefully as you go. So they don't really take a lot of bashing about these. Put no leaf on that one. So it's okay. It's not too far out. I probably will have to do the leaves the same. With all the lines inside them, but we can work that one out. as we go. And just continue. I'm sorry about the angle, but it's sometimes a lot easier to turn it. And there's no pressure with these pens. As I say, it's basically a fine wire, and you are just stroking that colour, stroking the wire across the page, and from the centre of it, the ink then flows down the wire, and that's what gives you the very fine line. And so just very carefully, you've got to make sure that this, whatever ink you use, it is permanent ink, because the minute you put your watercolour to it, unless you're colouring it in pencil, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, but if you're using any kind of watercolour, you have to use a permanent ink. And when you've finished it, if by the time you've drawn all these in, you will be better equipped to then draw freehand, because you will have got an idea of how the leaves kind of flow. And this pen works in any direction, because it's, as I say, it's basically, I really want one here, but I've got one there, so. kind of curls around there. Oopsie. And then we had the big section at the bottom here. Oops, that's just a bit of a funny leaf. I'm using a rotring isograph, and it's filled with Indian ink. So it's a pen set from Rotring. If you type in graphic design, any graphic art shop graphics, they should come up. I've had mine for a long time, but I bought the girls someone. But you can still buy them. They're a bit expensive, but they last forever if you're careful with them. And they're really, this is almost the exact same width. There is a finer one, but I just can't get that one working at the moment. But this is what I learnt to draw with when I trained as a graphic designer. But we did everything by hand in the late 70s. Our standard was we had to draw everything ready to go to the printers. So it was pretty fine work. Oops. And exact. So I turn that round there. We have another one of those there. I think they're about £30 odd, but you can get a set for 50, and that's the set that we had to have for college. So you probably don't need any others. I just happened to find that one on eBay. But the last lot I bought from eBay, I paid, and he even when I told him that somebody'd gone like that and smashed it, and smashed the ending, he didn't. He just put, "Oh, sorry," and that was it. So I was a bit cross, but normally I look, and if you can see the fine points, you can see whether they're not broken. But of course, I was panicking for my daughter's birthday and to go to college, so I bought it, and I got stung. So got to be a bit careful. And people do pay ridiculous prices for these, so you're probably better getting a brand new one. Because, I guess, again, a tight Yorkshire lasts, but they will last you if you're careful with them. I've still got mine that I had when I was 16, so it's like everything, it depends how well you look after them. And just recently, last night, I found I found a cleaner for them, and I've never seen that before. I clean mine with washing up liquid and warm soapy water. That's how I clean mine. So if you feel that there's kind of something missing up there, but I quite like that one. I quite like that because it's a little bit different. It's not exactly the same as this one. Now whether we have another leaf going up there, I don't know. I think I like it because it's different, so I'm going to leave that. I've just got these two to draw down here. And then I'm going to leave it just a minute or two. Doesn't take long, but just to make sure that it's completely dry before I start rubbing out the pencil lines behind. But again, that's just made that little bit different. That's made it a little bit different. Now there's 4 baubles. I don't actually think it needs anything else. I think that's it. What does everybody else think? Do you think that's just about okay? Or shall we have some ivy? There's a little bit of ivy here. Should we have a little bit of ivy trailing round as well? Or maybe some ivy just growing just on here, maybe. What do we think? So it's a good idea to put the lid on your pens. So this is a 0.25, but there's a set you can get with 3 and replaceable nibs as well. So I must have about 30 of these now. So, but I have been, if I see them cheap and cheerful, I do buy them. So if I go to this bit here, in fact, if you look in the other sections here, you'll find the same ivy. The ivy's here. There's some curls of ivy there. That would be nice. So you can, because it's the same artist that's done all of them, then you can actually go in here like this. And then, I mean, you could have taken the ivy from here if you'd wanted. Sorry, the holly, but and then that kind of curls right round. Because these pages are, I say, are always connected. Let me find out what I am now. Put a piece of sticky on there, then I know what I am. Good idea, wouldn't it? There we go. So you can just have a look and see. Take it that came around like that. And actually, as it happens, it's kind of going over there, so that actually fits quite nicely. I can make that fit in there. That fits quite nicely in there. So we can make that come across like that. Curl that right round. and then this one. And then we've got those two little diddy ones up there. So we can put see if that one will fit into there. So it wants to be, oopsie, wants to be a little bit, yes, I like that bit. So there's only that one that's in the way, that big one, and it can go behind it. Right, so what we've got is this coming from here, and then this will curl. But no, I think I like that curl, so we'll curl that round, take that one up there, and then this one can go, the curl goes right round there. We have those two little things there, and then this one can go behind the holly. And we can flick that one over. And again, because we've just drawn round it, we now have so I want that to go kind of there. Then we've got this one. So you might think it's just too much of a faff to do this, but I quite like I love the ivory backgrounds, so I think there's empty space. And it makes you a bit braver for drawing then. You start thinking, oh, I could draw then that. I could do some drawing now. So I'm going to just finish this off. So I want to carry on from this because this is the ivy. Oh, well, I think it is. I think it is. I'm just going to have to turn the page carefully. So I'm following this line here to come out. That's a bit of a funny leaf, isn't it? We have that lovely curl around here. That became this one. And the very big one is behind it, isn't it? So I've just, and then we can have three leaves on that one. I think actually, I don't know, I can't just draw this leaf here now. Where does it come from? It comes from here. Oh, I've made a pig's ear of that. I've made a real pig's ear of that, but never mind. It's because I couldn't see it properly. So we want this to come across here. And then that swings down there. Hopefully we won't see that. And then we've got one of those leaves there. This big leaf behind. I don't know, it came with that leaf. And then we've got 3 of these. Of those. Yep. So it's not. Oh, that can be hidden then. Yep. Hopefully we might not notice those. So put the lid on. I used to put them on a Facebook group, MD. Yes, I used to do. So I'm going to leave that to dry, that bit up there, and just gently make sure you've got a clean rubber eraser, because if you haven't, you're going to transfer marks across. And if it's dry, it doesn't take long. You can just take all those off. In fact, there's a different one, because the other one, it was slightly bigger, and this page, mine are slightly thinner. But once they're coloured in, you're not going to notice, I don't think. I'll just leave that just for a minute or two and go right round to there. And then we'll do this bottom one. I sometimes put them on Facebook, but just recently I've forgotten. So I'll put them on my Facebook group. I tried to have my own Facebook group, Bunny's Designs, but I'm not very good at putting links in, but my daughter's coming home from uni, so hopefully she can do that for me. So I just take that from there, and then I don't know what possessed me to put it on my dress, but there we are. So I don't know if that looks okay. Looks very busy. It looks very busy, but I think it should be Bunny's Designs. But I'll have a look at rejiggling that. It should be Bunny's Designs. And there is one called Watercolouring, but I don't think I can see any lines on there, so I think that's not so bad. I'm not sure if I want to do it in graphic tint now. I just see these really vivid colours. In fact, we could do it perhaps in metallic. I'll have a think about that. I've got my Graphite Tint pencils out. So that's the end of part 1. It's all been drawn out and it's ready to colour. So thank you for watching.